One thing with that particular 100 Thieves lineup, especially the classic lineup that you had that I want to ask about, is it seems like the timing is also fairly similar to when actually other orgs started to slowly, either the people who wanted to go back to CSGO went back to CSGO, or they slowly shed what were the names from CSGO for just Valorant people who maybe had no history in CSGO and it was just a good player now, right? Do you actually get the sense with that player, like the names all looked great on paper, like look, the Hiko one's more just for the big name, he hadn't been a relevant player in Counter-Strike for many years, but you, Ethan and Nitro were all obviously competent tier 1 players at the end of CSGO when you chose to transition. Do you actually think, like, I get why initially people got the CSGO talent, the logic is you're just good at tactical FPS, let's see if you're good at this one. Do you get the vibe that, like, was this collection of players not as good as the names? Like, do you actually think now it's not as big a deal to have CSGO experience? Should you just recruit people who are just good at Valorant?
I think even now and into the future, players that are just like exclusively Valorant experience are still going to be like really good, and maybe even like the star players, like the top 5 that we talk about and at the end of every year. I think CS experience, especially towards like the beginning of Valorant, was very crucial because a lot of the fundamentals did translate over about like clearing your corners, about like if the enemy is down numbers, like they're going to keep pushing, you can slow down, they're going to just run into you and you're going to punish them. Like all of these things still translate, how to approach clutch situations, like all of these things. But then the people that couldn't separate that CS is this different game, Valorant's not just like CS with like reskinned, that there's different abilities. You can't play in like these one and done positions because they have like this thing that gives them wall hacks, and then you're just done for. They have like a laser beam that shoots through a wall. Like you can't play certain positions. They have this flash that you can't even anti-play. Like it's either you're blind or you're not blind. Like there's no like you turn from it and you're only partial blind type of thing. Yes. Like an Omen flash, for example. So a lot of CS players couldn't like figure out that it's a new game and you can't play it exactly like one for one. But then there's a lot of players that took what they learned from CS when it came to fundamentals, when it came to team play, when it came to work ethic outside of the game, about going into a custom game and learning like a lineup, or learning like how to like practice peeking a certain angle, learning map timings and how long does it take to get from this point to that point. All of that, if you had CS experience and you've done all that legwork, it means that in Valorant, you have that cheat code in the sense that you don't have to learn that from scratch. And a lot of these Valorant players are learning that stuff from scratch, where they never knew to even think about looking at the game like that. But now you're getting to a point where everyone that's been playing Valorant since beta is probably going to even have a leg up on the people that are, if they want to just transition now from CS, for example, and haven't been playing like ranked games all along, because things go in and out of meta all the time, especially if there's like new maps or agent changes, agent buffs and nerfs. Things that we saw back in First Strike, back in like 2020 winter, we're going to start seeing that again, as like, Astra came into meta and everyone switched to Astra, and everyone forgot about like the 5-man Jet Reyna just like rushing everything. And now Astra's out of meta and you're adding things like Yoru and Neon, and you have breach stuns that are like really strong. So a lot of like faster pace, like dive comps, so to speak. But like when agents come in and out of meta, like the people that have played those agents before, played in similar sorts of metas before, are going to be better. They're going to pick up this new meta quicker. It's like it was fast paced, then it was really slow, then it was like middle speed, and now it's fast again. The people that originally played that first fast pace are going to be like really comfortable in the new fast pace, whereas the people that started when it was like really slow are going to be like, why is everyone rushing everything? This game should be slower. And that transition phase is where people are going to fall behind, and where the people that started on Valorant are going to excel, or the people that played MOBAs that, especially like League, that go through these meta shifts constantly are going to excel, or people that played Overwatch. When I played Overwatch, like it was even like that short period, like I played for like 4 months or something. I saw like 3 different metas at that point. So it's like, you need to be able to keep up with that.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.